sit back and roll.
Ready?
All right, this is the Village of Peotone Board meeting for May 12th of 2014. We begin by rising to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would the clerk please call the roll?
Mr. Reichert?
Here.
Mr. Huckey?
Here.
Mr. Wicker?
Here.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Gallagher? Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
And Mr. Forsythe?
Here. Okay, let the record show that all the trustees are present. We have a quorum to conduct official business. First order of business being the approval of the April 28th, 2014 regular village board meeting minutes. Trustees, I'll entertain a motion to approve them or correct them if you find a need to.
Make the motion, we approve the minutes.
Motion by trustee Hupkey to approve the minutes, seconded by trustee Hack. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Huckey?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Forsythe?
Yes.
Mr. Reichert?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, the minutes become the official record. Next item on the agenda is the accounts payable and the payroll. Trustees, you have in your packet the payroll for the pay period ending April 26th of 2014 in the amount of $41,654.31. You also have bills from the general fund totaling $36,329.23 and bills in the water and sewer fund totaling $79,958.51. Grand total for the general fund and water sewer fund bills is $116,287.74. I'll entertain a motion to pay the bills.
I make a motion, we pay the bills.
Second. Okay.
They can have it.
Motion by trustee Wicker to pay the bills. Seconded by trustee Reichert. I made the decision. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Reichert?
Yes.
Mr. Forsythe?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
And Mr. Huckey?
Yes. Motion carries and the bills will be paid. We have public comment and/or questions for any non-agenda items, and we have a couple of items that need to come before us.
Hi. I just wanted to come to the board because for the farmer's market,
Yes.
we are low on vendors. And so we have decided to just do the car show Saturday and the last Saturday of August and September for kind of a trial period, and hopefully next year we'll have some more vendors participate. And also we would like to include or open it up to crafters that make their own crafts and have the committee approve what they're going to sell at the farmer's market. Currently we have 6 vendors, and then we have maybe 1 or 2 more that they say they are interested, but we don't have their paperwork. So that's where we're at right now.
You said the last Saturday of August and September?
Yes.
Okay.
And then if it goes well, then maybe do an October date as well. But we figured with the car show being a kickoff, then maybe more of those people will come back and we'll get some more interest and get it rolling that way.
Okay. I think this fits in with the essence of what we've approved all the way along, so I don't think it requires any official action on our part. It's just the information that you're sharing with us as you develop the farmer's market idea. So we appreciate that and wish you continued success in this.
Thanks. We're trying.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I just wanted to mention, believe it or not, summer is going to be coming around the corner. Summer reading program is going to be starting. The first week in June is registration for children and teens, and the adult summer reading program starts on June 2nd. Thank you.
Okay. I think we have one other item.
Well, yes, Mrs. Judy Ostell couldn't be here this evening, but she asked me to bring to the board's attention Poppy Day. She'd like permission in conjunction with Legion to collect on Poppy Day, May 24th, Saturday, 8 to noon. She's sorry she can't be here, and it's somewhat late notice, but I guess there's a miscommunication about the exact date, and she thought she had until the next board meeting. But I know the board can't take final action this evening, but if you would just look at that and kind of get an understanding that there are no problems and we don't have a major issue, we can ratify this at the next board meeting if that's necessary. But this would let her continue. She's lined up 72 volunteers, and she's looking at approximately 17 locations, all of them on businesses or things like the post office and the library, so they wouldn't be out in the street, where they'll be selling Poppy Days, so poppies. So Poppy Day, May 24th, Saturday, 8 to noon, at the locations you see listed here. Assuming she gets all the final permissions, almost all of them have agreed to let her do it. I let the organization do it, so if there are any issues, I'll let her know tomorrow.
I'd like to make a motion, we just pass it. I mean, it's a simple thing, we do it every year.
Yeah, can we,
Sure.
it's not on the agenda, but it's continuing.
As George said, you can consent to it tonight, but because of Illinois case law, you can't take final action on something that's on the agenda. So at the next meeting, we will have to put it back on for what's called ratification. It's a technicality, but essentially you're providing their permission to move forward by making a motion tonight.
Okay.
Subject to ratification at the next meeting.
All right, so the motion by trustee Wicker to approve the Poppy Day, subject to ratification at the next meeting, seconded by trustee Forsythe. Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Forsythe?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
And Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, and again, subject to ratification at the next meeting. Moving on to the agenda, we go to the reports, chief of police.
I'd like to take up your time, but I really have nothing to tell you. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I know it breaks your heart. You always like me to give speeches, but I'll hold back.
We'll try and contain it.
For Rich's benefit.
Troy, we have an engineer's report. Any updates on anything?
Not much, just still plugging away at the Route 50 corning. We recently received IDOT comments, so hopefully we'll get those back soon. See where we go from there.
Okay. Next item, we have no old business, so the next item after that is new business, the special event permit for St. Paul Catholic, the Apostle Catholic Church. Do we have somebody here?
My name is Paula Prime, and I'm the Worship Commission Chair for St. Paul the Apostle. We'd like to get a permit for the 5th year to have our Eucharistic procession on Sunday, June 22nd, right after 10:30 Mass. We leave the church, we go out on Conrad South to Crawford. We go east on Crawford, stop at 2 homes, circle back to Conrad, and come back to the church. So we would leave the street of Conrad blocked between the church parking lot and Crawford blocked off between Conrad and West Street.
And as you stated, this is the 5th year.
This is the 5th year. I have pictures.
Well, go ahead, share them with us. And trustees, do you have any, first of all, do you have any questions? Okay, next item is there a motion to
I
grant?
make a motion to accept it.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by trustee Wicker, seconded by trustee Reichert, to grant the special event permit to St. Paul the Apostle Catholic Church for the Eucharistic procession on June 22, 2014, from 11:20 to 12:30 with the necessary street closures. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Forster?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. Permission to be granted for the fifth year or sixth? Fifth year. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda has to do with an ordinance related to a special use permit. George, do you want to go through that?
Now, Mr. William Presto III is petitioned for a special use permit to conduct auto repairs at 209 East Main Street. This property is currently the site of Peotone Quick Lube and Tire. However, Peotone Quick Lube and Tire operates under its own special use permit that is not transferable. Therefore, Mr. Presto must apply for an independent special use permit. Mr. Presto wishes to expand the service to include light mechanical work, alternator starters, tune-ups, etc. Mr. Presto plans to remodel the interior of the building into a 1950s theme. Planning and Zoning Commission conducted a public hearing and there were no remonstrators. The Planning and Zoning Commission forwards a favorable recommendation with the following conditions. Special use is granted to the current owner of the business, which is Mr. Presto, and may not be sold, transferred, or continued under different business ownership. The approved scope of work is limited to oil, lube, tire, and battery sales, the repair, replacement of alternators, starters, brakes, and light mechanical repairs. Work specifically prohibited includes, but is not limited to, body shop, painting, engine or transmission rebuilding, body or frame repair, and exhaust system repair. Maximum hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5, and by appointment 5 to 8. Saturday, 8 to noon, and by appointment noon to 5, closed Sunday. Motor vehicles may be stored outside only during normal operating hours. No materials are to be stored outside the building, and all signage is to be attached to the building. The village board may adopt the findings of fact of the Planning and Zoning Commission and approve the petition. If you wish to deny the petition, you must adopt your own independent findings of fact. And you have the findings to the village board, you have the application, you have the report to the P&Z, you have the P&Z minutes before you, as well as the body of the ordinance.
Okay, this would be ordinance number 14-01. And it would, the motion would be to approve the ordinance, approve the findings of the P&Z Commission relative to this petition.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On the work specifically prohibited includes, but is not limited to, body shop painting, engine or transmission rebuilding, body or frame repair, and exhaust system repair. Is that by the request of the owner, or is that the
The
village?
P&Z, the owner is here, the P&Z discussed that, and the owner said he had no intention of doing that kind of work, so it was mutually agreed, is my, yes. He just wanted to do light mechanical.
The only reason I ask is especially for the exhaust system repair, because there's really nobody in the area that I know of that does any exhaust system repair other than Mantino, Bradley, Bourbonnais. That's just a question I was just asking.
Go ahead.
Hi, guys. I mean, as far as the exhaust repair, we do have an ASC certified mechanic that's gonna be on hand at the shop at all times. The exhaust repair, even though there's a train that goes by, is awfully loud. Some of the tools that you need are awfully loud. It's not, I don't have the experience to do exhaust. It's not something that I have the equipment, the tools. But, I mean, that's, if I were to ever do that, or obviously I would come to you guys and, try to get my special needs thing. As far as the exhaust work, you really need a larger shop. You need the pipe. It's
The storage is
Yeah,
the
you need to store, I mean, unless there was a shed built to the side where you could store the pipe, because you have to bend a lot of that stuff custom. So it's pretty hard. Plus, most of the auto part places around here don't really carry exhaust stuff. So you'd have to get it from like Joliet. It'd be hard to do around here considering, unless you had the pipe and the bender, which of course then you're storing a ton of pipe to maintain, to be efficient so that people would want to come to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions, trustee?
Anything else?
Okay, is there a motion to approve ordinance 14-01, special use permit to operate auto repair maintenance shop in a B1 zone, 208 East Main Street?
Motion.
Second.
Motion by trustee Hupkey, seconded by trustee Forsythe, to approve ordinance 14-01. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Hupkey.
Yes.
Mr. Forsythe.
Yes.
Mr. Callahan.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes.
Mr. Wicker.
Yes.
Mr. Riker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can I
Good luck.
just say one thing before
Sure.
we move forward? Just to answer one quick question, if there was a simple situation, and I want to ask you guys, if it was somebody who just needed a muffler, mufflers are simple. They're usually bolt-on a lot on the new cars. If it was a muffler situation, I would be able to do something like that, but that would have to be, I don't know if that, because those are bolt-on, because you can get a muffler, it's just the pipes and everything, that's, as far as exhausts are concerned.
Okay.
That would be my
I think
problem.
the language was exhaust system repair.
The current language would prohibit
Okay.
that.
But could he request a variance on that?
Well, he would have to come back through and do the special use permit again.
Roy needs a muffler.
No.
All right.
Thank
That's
you.
all. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
Relative to that, the muffler business is pretty much disappearing because of stainless steel.
Yeah.
And I had the experience of taking my wife's Oldsmobile, listened to that a few years ago, to Midas muffler, to which the guy said, "We don't do mufflers." Going down in KP. He said, "What do you mean? That's your whole bit?" Look at their advertisements. They don't even advertise anything about exhaust systems anymore. They do brake work and everything else. All right. We are moving on to the next item, which is another special use permit. George?
Mr. James D. Shin has petitioned for a special use permit for his property at 120 West North Street. This property was at one time a commercial use with a dwelling unit on the second floor. However, this property was grandfathered under the zoning code. The property was vacated and the grandfather status was voided. Petitioner wishes to return the property to a commercial use with a dwelling unit on the second floor. A special use permit is required for residents of a commercial use in the B1 district. Planning and Zoning Commission conducted a public hearing and there were no remonstrators. The Planning and Zoning Commission forwards a favorable recommendation with the following conditions. Construction must meet building and fire codes. Occupancy is limited to one family or a maximum of 2 unrelated persons. Upon approval of a downtown plan and funding source, must participate in exterior cosmetic improvements, a minimum of $2,500 within 2 years of all plan and funding sources put in place. There's an existing dumpster that must be screened from First Street. They can't use chain link fence to do that. It must be recorded with the county recorder. And the reason for that is the petition runs with the land, so we won't have to do this again in the event of a sale.
Okay, this would be ordinance 14-02. Everybody familiar with that? Basically, it's a minute office upstairs.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by trustee Forsythe, seconded by trustee Hupkey to approve ordinance 14-02, an ordinance approving one residential dwelling unit above a commercial use at 120 West North Street by James Shin, and with the stipulations noted by the Planning and Zoning Commission. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Forsythe.
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey.
Yes.
Mr. Riker.
Yes.
Mr. Wicker.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes.
Mr. Callahan.
Abstain.
Okay. Motion carries, and the permit is granted. Next item is the follow-up. George, you want to go through that? Or?
Yes, a regular inspection at the Rathje Road Water Tower by Public Works Director Jim Bedarowitz indicated a possible leak inside the standpipe near the weld of the standpipe to the tank. On April 30th, 2014, an inspector from Phoenix Fabricators and Erectors was sent by Robinson Engineering to inspect and confirm the problem. His on-site comments were that a crack existed in the bowl near the top of the standpipe. An estimate was provided by May 1st, indicating the needed repairs with 2 additional options to be completed at the same time. In summary, mud valve and leak repair, $23,090. Remove and replace insulation, $11,709. Installation of a new expansion joint, $7,000. Consultation with engineer Thomas Nagel from Robinson indicated that in addition to the mud valve and leak repair, he would recommend the removal and replacement of the over 40 feet of an insulation that had been saturated with water from the leak. joint conference call between the Public Works Director, Engineer Nagel, and an engineer at Chicago Bridge and Iron, who built the original water tower, offered another vendor who also was contacted for a proposal. Upon hearing from CB&I, the CB&I vendor, which was Rockefeller, Engineer Nagel was told that the hard winter probably caused the current expansion joint in the ground to become frozen and thus failed to permit movement. CB&I has had several such failures in the past few months. Apparently, placement of the expansion joint in the ground is a design CBI no longer uses. However, the vendor was not certain if they would be able to inspect the tower until the week of May 5th. In addition, the vendor stated his firm was booked up for the next 3 weeks. He quoted a ballpark figure to repair the leak and replace the joint, not including the insulation, to be approximately $32,000 to $34,000. That's what it typically runs in the jobs he's done so far. All work to be done was in compliance with the prevailing wage statutes. Village president, village administrator, and manager of water and sewer felt a condition existed that threatened the public health and safety. It was imperative the repair occur as soon as possible, and the full scope of the repairs was necessary and cost effectively. Accordingly, the proposal from Phoenix was executed and the work begun. What you need to do today is ratify the emergency and ratify the use of the proposal, and you have a motion before you with the appropriate wording to do that.
And we did send a note, kind of apprising you of what was going on at the time. So I will entertain a motion to ratify the work on the water tower to repair the crack, expansion, joint fitting, and insulation was in response to an emergency, and that the board confirms the contract with Phoenix Fabricators and Erectors to complete the repairs at the estimate of $41,779.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by trustee Wicker, second by trustee Reichert. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Forsythe?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Okay, motion carries, and thank you very much. The tower at this point, they were sanitizing and doing some tests on it. It should be back in operation.
We have to disinfect it and run 2 sets of tests, and that's where we're at right now. So the repairs are complete.
And we had backup plans in place should there become an emergency, a major fire or something like that, to supply the water by turning the pumps on to supply it. So we had our bases covered. Okay, next item on the agenda has to do with the Memorial Day meeting. We had said at the last board meeting that we'd wait until today to reschedule the meeting that would normally occur, the end of the month meeting that would normally occur on Memorial Day. And that being said, everybody has a pretty good idea right now of what their plans would be that weekend. I would assume that you would want to move the meeting to Tuesday as we have in the past, rather than meet on Memorial Day.
I'll motion that.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee Forsythe, second by trustee Hupkey, to move the meeting, the regularly scheduled meeting from Memorial Day to the Tuesday after that, which is the 27th. 27th? Incidentally, while we're talking about that, we had our committee of the whole meeting tonight, so we wouldn't necessarily have to hold one at the end of the month.
In addition to that, we are going to try to have the appropriation ordinance ready for that meeting. And if we do, and I suspect we will have a public hearing, probably about 6:30 or so. It'll be in your packet, and of course it'll be announced and on the website, et cetera. But we'll have a public hearing about the appropriation ordinance prior to the meeting, so that we can then adopt it at the following, half an hour later at the meeting. So.
Clear that. So, the motion to move the Memorial Day meeting till the Tuesday thereafter. Clerk, please call the roll.
Going to have a committee of the whole or no?
No, we're having a public hearing.
Cancel.
Yeah, thank you.
Mr. Forsythe?
Yes.
Mr. Hupkey?
Yes.
Mr. Wicker?
Yes.
Mr. Riker?
Yes.
Mr. Hack?
Yes.
Mr. Callahan?
Yes. Okay, motion carries. Any announcements or communications, any due dates coming up?
Tomorrow is shut off.
That's only a handful of people. They should know by now. Is there anything else? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the May 12th, 2014 Village of Peotone Board meeting.
Motion. Second.
Motion by trustee Hupkey, seconded by trustee Reichert to adjourn the meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Hupkey.
Yes.
Mr. Reichert.
Yes.
Mr. Wicker.
Yes.
Mr. Hack.
Yes.
Mr. Callahan.
Yes.
Mr. Forsythe.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries. We are adjourned.